how did your relationship with Farah start? I watched your Smoking Tire podcast episode this week. And then he says, I don't like Farah, but how do you like it? Well, all right. Farah is like a New York guy.
Yeah.
Oh. And so he's very abrupt with his opinions, like New York people are. Like if you go to New York, people have no problem like just kind of yelling on the street at people they just met, like getting into arguments. Like it's like common how people, that's true in Long Island, it's true in North Jersey, it's true in that whole area.
Yeah.
Connecticut is more genteel.
A little bit. A lot.
But and so you just kind of have to go in with that knowledge. And also I think that the simple truth is that like there's only 20 of us who do this, right? Yeah. Like YouTube car content creating. Yeah. And we all share like a very significant bond. And I think that no matter how a person, I like Farah personally very much. I think he's great. But even if he wasn't, like you sit with some of these people, some of the other YouTube content car creators I don't like as much. You still like, you have so much in common that like, you're always going to want to chat with them and be like friendly with them and have a lot to discuss with them. How did the relationship start? Here's the story. You want to hear the story?
Please.
First time I ever met Matt Farah. Summer of 2013. Okay.
Wow. 12 years.
I was driving across the country in my Cadillac CTS-V wagon. And we happened to be at the Peterson Museum for some event. And then afterwards, Farah was hosting all the Jalopnik writers for a podcast at his house, which at the time was near the airport. And I went there to the event and then the house podcast thing. And I was on with all the other Jalopnik guys. I did like occasional guest columns on Jalopnik, but they were pretty popular. And so I was there with, I don't remember who, Travis Okolski was one of them. I don't remember the other guys who were there. But I bet the episode is still around. You can go see it. That was the first time I met him. It was 11 years ago. Wow. And at the time, Farah, by the way, was always tremendously nice to me when I was starting out. He recognized early that I was a good writer, I was like a gifted, funny writer. He would comment very positive things on my articles, which is really nice because young people starting out to hear from a guy like Matt, hey, this is cool. That's a big deal. And so then I went on the pod and he was like very nice on the pod, like making sure to include me, even though I was in this room of guys who had done this before. I was really anxious. And that's how my relationship with Farah started. And over the years, my stature in this business has grown, but like I've always had huge respect for Farah for treating me that way at the beginning. And he's always been really great to me. Even when, I started creating more YouTube videos and more, we have our own podcast and all that. Like he could be like, this jerk's doing my stuff. But he's always been just like, there's room for everybody. Come on in. Yep. And that's always been great.
Yeah. Farah is personally, I've always watched him since like Garage 419 days with the mutton chops and everything. Mm-hmm. And to see like him evolve as a person and as a presenter over time and his writing, he's just a wonderful writer.
He's a good writer. Every time I go there, I am hit by the fact that he is like more and more emotionally mature, sometimes in ways that I wish that I was. He's older than me. And I think he's seen more stuff than me, but he comes to conclusions like 2 years before me sometimes.
Ooh, wow.
Like I remember with West Side Collector Car Store, so why'd you call it West Side? You can't expand all over the world. He goes, I don't need to expand all over the world. I'm just happy with a couple locations that make money. And now that's how I feel. But like at the time, I was in my I want to expand all over the world phase. And that's the kind of thing that he comes up with,
And this podcast originally was a live show that we did with Cars and Bids. And he was the very first person.
First guest.
Yeah.
We love Matt.
And I just have such admiration for him too.
I do admire someone who says stuff as openly, honestly, and abruptly as he does.
Absolutely. It's refreshing, honestly. It really is.
Agreed. And I think that turns people off.
Right. I actually share a lot of his opinions. Maybe that's why I like him so much. But the one takes, that format also, the one take format was brilliant. So but yeah, he and Zach too.
People also don't love because he gets political. And we don't ever. No. I mean, Filippo sometimes will...
I know where Filippo was on January 6th.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what he was doing? He was calling the FBI naming names.
He was with Emily's dad.
He was crying about how Bernie Sanders didn't make it. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, love Matt. I actually really do love Matt, and I think he's really great. And I think the people who don't love him, I think that the harshness of his personality can sometimes get to people. I think the politics gets to people. I think generally, though, he's a really good guy.
The Smoking Tire is probably the podcast that I listen to most consistently.
Yep. And it's a really excellent
some NPR podcasts, but